I like these and I watch them all the time.
That guy who talks basketball?
No, it's just the 82-0 teams.
I hate those.
Really?
Yeah, it's 5, 4, 3, 2.
I wanted to finish this TikTok.
The reason why I don't like those is like they're always like relatively like the same joke.
No. I don't like the joke ones. I like just the normal, like them just trying to like pick through like a team to see if they like get a solid team.
Let's take this out of the shot. They don't pay us.
Yeah, they don't pay us at all. But no, I like the hodgepodge of teams.
Why?
And then when it gets to like the end, and they usually always have to take like some shitter at like shooting forward because they're like holding out for like LeBron James or something, but in reality they just always end up getting like somebody dog shit. Like
I did like today where it was I saw this video of it picked a team and then it had like a for example it said pick the Dallas Mavericks with an international player. They're like, oh, easy peasy, Luka. And then it said pick Golden State with a white player. And he's like, oh, fuck. And then he went through he didn't know any white players on the team.
Yeah.
So he was like, I think one of their names is Nico. I think it's a Nico. And then he was to the second one. He got it 3 times in a row. He's like, I guess Steve Kerr is coming off the coach, and he's on my team. And then he gets Giannis. He goes, yep, let's go. Steve Kerr, Giannis, the 2 bench white players, and Luka was his team.
That's pretty good.
So I did like that one, but generally I don't like them.
Well, I don't like it for a joke aspect. Like I just like I said, I just like the creation of teams. That one was an all-time list. So
one problem I have with TikTok is, for whatever reason, the children on the app think that if they see the joke, they can just recreate the exact same TikTok.
Yes.
And then
not just children. There's also just
I know grown men. Grown men who do it as well. But I don't understand, like, in the history of like joke telling,
yes,
those always flame out so quickly. Like you get to a place really quickly, and then you fall off and you teeter off and you never get to those heights again. So I don't like just put the work in and make like real
something creative.
Yeah.
That's definitely the move.
I understand the whole
but those
parallel thinking.
Those aren't creative people that are doing that.
They just want to be on TikTok. And
they're people like me.
Yeah.
that copy things without realizing they're doing it.
Amen, brother.
You pointed out this funny thing about us. We've talked about this before, but we have this issue, right? Where if somebody in our group or one of us makes a good joke, we try to credit ourselves in some way.
Yeah, if somebody has like, let's say everybody in the group is like saying a phrase of something, or somebody gets a big laugh, and realistically, you should just like,
good job, buddy.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I do it. You do it. Our group goes like,
I do it less.
You don't. We go, yeah, but they wouldn't have done that without me.
Yeah.
We somehow try to like, try to get the credit.
You actually might be worse though, just because sometimes you'll go to the extent that you'll imagine that you just told
that was that one time where our friend Tyler told it like it crushed in the room, and everybody laughed hard, including myself. And because I was drinking, I just remember the happiness of laughing.
Yes.
And then I go, man, like, dude, I fucking ripped that one.
Yeah, well, like, I kept on repeating it, and you're like, man, I told the good one. I was like, there's no way that you think that you told that joke. But then I also had the same thing where everybody in the group and all that are saying, what the heck?
Yeah, everybody's been going and saying, like, what the heck?
Because you said it a couple times to me.
Yeah.
And, like, and then one time, like, you said it like in front of like another one of our friends.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what he does now.
It's
his thing.
Yeah.
And so then it proceeded to just explode.
My girlfriend, she ran across a group of people who were saying, what the heck? And she was like, where did you get that from? And then they said, oh, this person.
Yeah.
And she was like, who did he get that from? My boyfriend. So she was just like defending that. And then you go, well, David wouldn't have said it had I not been saying it was my thing.
It's it is funny, but also that defense of going to your defense, cringe.
Yeah, that's what she does.
Yeah, cringe.
Yeah,
because how was that person ever supposed to know that you were the first person to say it?
Well,
just let it be.
Hey, do your research.
It's getting said.
Okay.
We're going to say what the heck.
You should really look into it. Do your own research.
We're going to say what the heck.
Hey, what the heck?
What the heck?
Yeah, what the heck? I mean, what's interesting is that the what the hecks, everybody says it a little bit different. Nobody really says it like me. Like there's a little, your enunciation somewhere in between our friend Tyler and mine, because mine is like, it's a quick what the heck, but his is what the heck.
Yeah,
and yours is a little bit between that.
He doesn't even try to say it.
No, he doesn't mimic me at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, yours is somewhere in between.
I try to be
closer to mine.
Yes.
I think mine's the funnier one, but
The issue is that I have too deep of a voice to do it the way that you do it.
Mine?
Yes. It's because yours is like a quick, high pitch, like, what the heck?
What the heck?
And I try to do that.
You try to admit that's why it sounds different to me. That's a good point.
But it's not. It's because in my head I sound close to you.
You don't.
But also in my head I sound like John Stamos. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah. But
Speaking of,
but in reality I sound like fucking Alex Jones.
Speaking of voices, we ran
into another guy.
We ran into another guy with a raspy voice, and I couldn't remember his name. So I was like, and I just kept.
He
going.
had a raspy voice, but did you notice that when you told him that
he did it more?
Yes.
I was literally just gonna say that right now.
Yes.
I was literally gonna go like. I told this guy, I was like, dude, you got a fucking sick voice. I like that shit. He has one as well, but I hear it all the time. I pointed to you. But I hear it all the time, so I don't like it. And then he just started, like, graveling that voice up. He, like, I was like, all right, man, chill out a little bit.
And all I was trying to ask him was like, hey, do you lose your voice too?
Yeah.
Because like me, I lose because my voice sounds like this.
Yeah.
I think that it's like something internal.
Yeah, I'd like you to get that checked. I want to know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, because it just
it
gets
probably
inflamed.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately, like if I just talk too much, just inflamed. And then I end up losing my voice. And that guy was like, no, that just never happened. And then he was like, he was like like you said, he was running it through gravel.
Yeah.
And we love rocks.
Mm-hmm. What should we talk about first? Because there was one day which is fun, but there was one more important day, more significant.
Yeah, I mean that day was fun too. That day was a really fun day for me.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
Saturday.
Saturday's real fun.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that first?
Yeah, my day starts a little bit earlier than yours, so I went golfing. Right. Yeah. Immediately, I have this thing with golf. Right. I love golf. Right. When I talk, you hear me make the plans for golf, and you know how excited I am. Every single time, right? I'm like, you need to go golfing. It's so much fun. Mm-hmm. Come golfing. It comes golf morning time. I wake up at like 9 a.m. for it, and I immediately text the group chat of whoever we're golfing with. Not going to make it today.
You do it every time.
Don't want to.
You do it every time.
Every single time I try to.
Why do you? Yeah, why?
Because I just get too sleepy.
Yeah, but you know it's going to... you know you're going to golf, and two... You know what time it's going to be. Just go to bed earlier.
Yeah, but I started drinking that night, so I was like...
Okay, go to bed.
Yeah.
You can knock out quick with a couple of brewskis.
Yeah. I was just up gaming with the boys, so it ended up making it rough. And then get there...
I know what... I mean, it's always the same thing. It's never anything different.
And then I get to golf, have a great time.
Yeah.
Very first hole, use my drive, which is the best thing, right? Like, because we play a scramble, which is you just use whoever hits the best ball, you use that, and everybody then hits from that. So then essentially you just get like the best of everything. And using somebody's drive, that means that you're a big dog. Mm-hmm. That was the big dog.
You felt good about it?
One, didn't use another one of mine.
Do you guys always get your balls? Like, do you always collect them?
For the most part. So the first day that I went, I was like... Oh, because I was so used to, I only went to Topgolf once. In that, clearly, you just hit the fucker and it's gone for good. So in my mind, I was like, oh, we're not using my ball. Fuck it. And Mike was like, hey, man, those are expensive.
Fuck it.
And I was just like, yeah, we're out of them. And like, between the balls and the tees, I always leave the tee behind too, and T-Rog screams at me for that. But yeah, you're supposed
to collect those, huh?
Yeah.
I thought they were like cheap as fuck and you can just keep launching them.
T-Rog was for example, T-Rog was golfing with $8 balls.
Yeah.
Imagine if you did that on every hole. Just left them.
Damn, $8 is a lot.
Yeah. Those are like hyper expensive.
Yeah.
That's not like normal. But so at this golf trip, I don't know if you even know how it went. So we get there and our friend's girlfriend was driving for us. So we were like, okay, this is great. All of us for once. Every single time, Mike either has to go back to Illinois or there's like just something. Either it's like a Sunday and like we have shit to do the next day. And like just in general, we can't get rowdy the way that we want to. We drink every single time. I always get rowdy.
Yeah.
They don't usually, though, because T-Rog usually is, like, getting screamed at because he has to be home in, like, an hour.
Because he's not allowed to have fun.
But in reality, like, golfing's always going to take 3 to 4 hours, so he's just in trouble instantly. But this time, have a DD. We're good to go. Everything. So we get fucked up.
Yeah.
Do the first hole. We're slamming White Claws already. Second hole, shotgun a beer. Third hole, shotgun a beer. End up going and just drinking casually. Run into the cart girl again. Get another shotgun more.
Yeah.
We end up by the 8th hole, 9th hole. We're about each of us like 10 to 11 White Claws and beers in.
Yeah.
So we're all in the sun. It's early in the morning. Haven't eaten. We're feeling it.
Aren't White Claws one of the greatest inventions?
So good.
I love them.
They're so summer too.
Yeah, I never. I don't even drink them, but I really like them.
Yeah, they're really good. They're like juice now to me.
Are they?
Yeah.
You really like them that much?
Yeah. Well, I was just like very thirsty the other day, and that's why I got drunk on Friday. Was because I was just thirsty and I was hanging out with the boys, and I was like, you know what, I'll have a Truly, and they were in the fridge. So I just started because I didn't want water because water wasn't. Sometimes water just doesn't taste good. I don't know why.
Yeah, I never feel like that, but
Well, you ever get like a shit taste in your mouth?
no.
Well, like sometimes like I don't wipe good enough. Or like you don't wipe it good enough, and then you hand me paper, and then you get mud pie all over
Yeah, sure.
paper, and I wipe my mouth, and I get shit in my mouth. But yeah, so sometimes I'll just drink them because I'm thirsty. But we get so fucked up that by the 12th hole, we texted Reagan at the 10th, come get us. We just drive through. We just take the golf cart, and we don't slow down for any of the holes. We just
You didn't even finish the 18?
no.
Why not?
We got too fucked up.
You couldn't finish it?
Well, the entire time I was trying to flip the golf cart, so I was just doing that for a while. And then, we were just listening to Who I Smoke on repeat and just getting fucking hammered. And yeah, we got to a point where we were like double bogeying. We were going like 3 to 4 fucking shots over par. So like we were just way off, right? Like we're taking like 8 shots. So it was just starting to take too long. It was hot out.
Yeah.
And we were just like, hey, we're not playing good. We're fucked up. We're too drunk. Like Mike was not hitting good because he was just too drunk.
Yep.
I never hit good.
Yeah.
T-Rog didn't have a good day.
Who was the last person you were playing with?
Trevor Waddle.
Trevor?
So
Gotcha.
So we just
Was he good?
He's better than me,
Yeah.
but not better than Tyler.
Okay.
Tyler's pretty substantially I think, ahead of him, but he's good. He's not bad for being inexperienced. But yeah, so we just got too fucked up, went through. That resulted in me going to a pool party.
Yeah. Was the pool party fun?
I said this earlier. It was like fine, but it turned into just me and Mike sitting in a pool talking to each other.
Yeah.
Just me and him.
Sure.
So like it was like whatever. Like it wasn't like bad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, oh, this is fucking the most fun
I was
I've ever had.
certain that you guys were not going to show up to wherever I was.
That's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
They wanted to change those plans.
I was certain
And
that you were never going to come back.
I was like, I'm done with this. I
Yeah.
don't want to be here anymore. And I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then they were like self-conscious that like I had a bad time, but like it wasn't that I was.
Who was self-conscious?
Trevor and Megan.
What
But
can you
it
do?
wasn't that I even told them I was like, it's not that I'm having a bad time. I just know that I'll have more fun over there.
Yeah.
And I want to watch the Bucks game like with the homies.
Yeah.
So then we get there. First thing I do, get butt naked in front of all of you guys.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, that's true. So let me cut into my thing.
Yeah.
I
Worked
11 hours that day, so I didn't get to go to anything. And then I had to show up later than everybody else, which is like an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
And we were playing the game Slip and Flip.
Yep.
Which, if you know what Flip Cup is, just throw the slip and slide in there, and it's the same thing.
I kept on telling people, like, I'm going to a slip and flip party. They're like, what the heck? I explained it to them. They're like, that was, like, such a surprise. And I was like, I felt like I knew 3 people here that were doing slip and flips this weekend. Like, separate parties.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty casual thing.
I've never done it before, but I feel like it's pretty...
Yeah, common. People know it.
You just put the table at the end of the slip and slide. You have a double slip and slide, so 2 people go at the same time.
Yeah.
And
I like when I'll see somewhere there's like a big hill and they'll just put a tarp down.
Yeah, that works. That works too.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you can do that. And it feels like when you arrive to something when that's going on, you just have to be ready to go right away.
Yeah.
So that's what happened when I got there. Like, the game was going, and I jumped in right at the perfect time and then won the game for everybody.
Yeah.
That was how I entered.
And they just went, whoa, David, you saved us.
So, yeah, mine was like everybody wanted it to happen, and it was just like seamless right on in.
Yeah.
You showed up hammered.
Yeah.
In a similar kind of a situation where nobody was really expecting you to walk in, except you weren't part of the game.
Yeah.
The game was over.
Yep.
And then you just run in fully naked. And I thought you were gonna go. I don't know why you didn't go down the slip.
I should have went down it.
Yeah, you just like
it
you were like
so
you were
funny.
primed up.
You know what the issue is I am not self-conscious, right?
Yeah.
About my body,
Sure.
my penis.
Yeah.
None of that. Mm-hmm. I am self-conscious about my penis after being wet.
You had enough time. You would have been able to cover it up. It would have.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because my flaccid penis, it's like whatever. It
Sure.
is what it is. But a flaccid, like cold and wet wiener,
Yeah.
it's even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Because your balls shrivel
I know.
up. Your flaccid penis, then, I don't know if everybody has
Also
this.
shrivels up.
It shrivels up, but it also like kind of sticks out like a boner because it's like cold.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
it's like a
Mine
flaccid.
did that later that day.
Yeah.
Sure did.
It sucks. So like that was not there was a lot of people there that like I'm comfortable with, but like I was like,
So there's two people that you've been invited to their wedding, right? I don't want to name any names. Not the full wedding, just the reception, I believe.
Yep.
And they were like, he can't be doing this at our wedding, and I was like, well, then why did you invite him? Because like this is what you're in for. Like I was just like ripping into them, going like, I can't believe you invited him to your wedding.
you probably got me uninvited.
That's gonna be embarrassing for you guys.
You probably got me uninvited.
I mean,
Because they brought it up a lot.
what that you can't. I know, because they're like,
Well, no, they didn't say you can't. I was like, hey, that was pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Tyler was like, I laughed.
Yeah.
But then Stephanie was like, that was crazy. Why'd you do that? I was like, everybody wanted me to.
yeah, I know, because everybody was begging for you to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, when James gets here, I hope he gets naked and goes down the slip and slide.
It did.
That's what people kept saying.
It did make people really excited, though.
It was good.
There was,
Nobody said it was bad.
Yeah, nobody said it was bad.
Yeah, but they were freaking, because they just start thinking like our wedding is gonna be ruined. It's so funny. Instead of just laughing, they just go to like,
What?
our wedding
How
is
does
gonna
this
be
affect me?
ruined. Yeah, I mean, I do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. That is funny.
But yeah, I just
you, you probably did get me uninvited to that wedding. But also,
You're not gonna be uninvited.
It is funny that they say that, and I would like to like defend myself.
Yeah.
But I just went to a wedding where I peed backwards into a urinal.
Yeah,
just
what are you supposed to do?
embarrassing everybody.
Yeah, you probably can't do that at their wedding because
Yeah.
they're not as,
Well, because they don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, they don't want to be embarrassed.
And I'd make them cry.
I know they would get got, and they don't want to get got.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't know how to get got.
Yeah.
They're no
I mean, and what I'm going to make them cry in their burgies. They're going to have sopping wet burgies because they're just crying too much eating a burgie. That's what they're going to do.
How do you know they have burgies at the wedding?
I know. They always have burgies at the wedding.
So we got together because it was a 4th of July party. The host of the party really wanted to do it on 4th of July. But
Yes.
we know somebody who lives on a lake. It's a family friend, and they have a boat.
Yes.
And I was like, we're doing that. We've done it every year for the past 4 years. We're not going to just do this, which slip and flip is fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, right? But we're going to beat the boat. We're going to beat the lake.
That was more fun for me than the boat.
Yeah, but like the way it ended up is that we did Saturday that, Sunday boat, and that's way better.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do both.
Yeah, we
which
got to
is
do both.
Best.
So,
case.
and it happened to be Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
3-1. 3-2, I mean.
3-2. That's how math works? Yeah.
Yep.
And Giannis goes out in Game 4.
Yes.
Or is it Game 5?
Game 4.
Because we won Game 5 and 6.
Yep.
He goes out in Game 4. Everybody's certain that it's an ACL tear, except for you. As soon as it happens, that's not the way ACLs tear. It has to go sideways. Is he just hyperextended?
It's usually lateral.
I was like,
movement.
you're a fucking idiot. You don't know shit about knees.
I kept on going, that's not that bad. And you're like, that was... you like
it did look very bad.
It didn't look good, right?
Yeah.
Any type of knee bending isn't good. but I know because I've had a meniscus tear that was misdiagnosed. So I know that a lot of times when you get those tears, it's when you go side to side. Because my knee probably looked worse than his when I tore my meniscus.
I hate injuries. I don't like it.
Because I had somebody, and also mine was with contact.
Yeah.
I had somebody shoulder my knee.
Right.
Their shoulder pads.
So he goes down. We lose game 4 pretty bad.
I say it's a hyperextension or a meniscus tear.
Game 5 comes in. The Bucks kind of crush him without Giannis.
It also comes out that I was right.
And Giannis has no structural damage to his knee. Yes. No tearing. And the timetable is
it's not like nobody knows how long he's going to be out, but they know that if we make it to the next series, he could probably be back.
They also said potentially he could come back for Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and there's no need because the Bucks go to Atlanta, and finally, since 2012, 2013 of Brandon Jennings claiming Bucks in 6, the Bucks have finally won a series in Game 6.
So good. And to win the Eastern Conference Finals.
And to win the Eastern Conference Finals in 6. After losing in 6.
I knew, too, Game 5, I knew that we were winning. For sure. Because
you didn't think there was any way Atlanta would win at home?
Beforehand, no. It was the fact that Giannis, made his tweet, I need Milwaukee to be extra loud tonight. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's going to be fucking turned in that stadium. And Milwaukee feeds off of energy really well, like the Bucks do. And then it got first quarter, we were up 18-5, I think. That might actually be the exact score.
Okay.
And Bobby Portis.
This is Game 3?
Game 5.
Game 5. Sorry, Game 5.
Bobby Portis gets a breakaway two-handed slam, and he just goes like this. And Bobby Portis, if you don't know, has very big, bulgy eyes. Yeah. One of his eyes pops out, goes into the front row. Somebody picks it up, eats his eye. And I go, this is our city. This is our city.
Yeah.
After I saw Bobby Portis get his eyeball eaten, I knew for a fact that we were winning the series. Sorry, Bob.
That's what they call them, crazy eyes. Those eyes just grow back.
Oh yeah,
I know. If Bobby Portis' eyes aren't popping out during the finals, then don't expect us to win. We need his eyes in the crowd.
So as much as I love that we won, Game 5 I remember so distinctly, when we were up, how much we were up by, stuff like that. Certain plays in it, 4 players having over 20 points, and I think that all 4 of them might have had double doubles, right? Except for maybe Bobby Portis.
Yeah, probably. Brooke, Drew, and Chris.
Yeah, and Brooke has 33 points, 14
I think
rebounds.
those 3 also had double doubles in Game 6.
See, that's what I was going to get to. Is I loved that we won, but I think that I was just too drunk at this point, and I don't remember a single portion of that.
I have the same. I think it's also me being drunk, but I think I was just so nervous.
Yes, that too.
And I just couldn't it was. Chris kept hitting. So Khris Middleton in the third quarter of Game 6, the one that we won,
knocking down.
So Drew Holiday has I guess because I can't even remember.
Yeah.
He has a great game. And then all of a sudden, Chris takes over, and he goes, okay, I'm going to win the game now. And Khris Middleton goes on to score 20 points.
I remember him making a couple threes. Yeah. That's all I remember late in the game, too. Answer back threes, too, where I was like, what the fuck? Because I they hit a 3, and I remember it getting close, and I was like, fuck, we're going to blow it. We're going to blow it. That's all I could think. I was so nervous. I was just rubbing our friend Pfeffer's girlfriend's feet. And I was like, I need to distract myself.
I was sitting next to our friend Trevor, who was hyper into the Bucks.
Yes.
And he kept just saying so Trevor will do this thing where he'll say watch, give it to this person, and he's going to hit it. Yeah. And sometimes he's right. But for whatever reason, he was everything he was saying about Chris kept happening. He was answer back 3, Chris. Layup, Chris. Floater, Chris. And he just kept doing it. And I was that's the only reason why I knew Khris Middleton was popping off in the third quarter. Because my friend was right next to me saying.
Giving the play-by-play.
Yes, before it was happening.
Yeah. But little did you know, it was always right afterwards, but he was just telling you what was happening.
Yeah, I couldn't process it.
He was like, David, why are your eyes closed?
It's I was watching it on tape delay when but we're right next to each other.
But it felt good to you.
It did feel good.
But then we win. I get emotional.
Our friend Trevor just starts crying.
Yes.
Not like a little bit, but like bawling, like sobbing, crying.
Yes.
Because, if anybody's not aware, Milwaukee as a city has not had a championship since 1971.
Yes.
The Bucks haven't been to the finals since 1974. And Milwaukee as like a city, in terms of like Bucks and Brewers, which those are the two professional teams that we haven't been to the last game of the series, like a World Series or a finals, since 1984. So It's been well past our lifetime, deep into our parents' lifetime, and it's pretty fucking cool. Even if they don't win, it's pretty significant that Milwaukee has a team of homegrown talent. You don't have these superstars who came out of nowhere just to come to this team, a Brooklyn Nets.
See, and that's the thing, and they keep on posting the picture of that 2014-2015 team where we were the last place team.
We had Giannis,
Chris. The players were on there, right?
Yeah.
And I just love that it wasn't a team like the Pelicans drafts Zion and he has an instant impact, or RJ Barrett has an instant impact on the Knicks and stuff. It was known that Giannis probably wasn't going to make an instant impact. Mm-hmm. But there was a possibility that he could be pretty good.
Yeah.
And we just stuck to those guns, didn't trade these players away.
We got Khris Middleton from the Detroit Pistons as a throwaway. Fuck it. Because we traded away our best player, Brandon Knight, for I think a pick or 2 picks or something, and then they were like, Khris Middleton as well. Fuck it, you can have this guy. And which is also funny. So we made all the right moves. Technically, there's a lot of missteps in there as well.
Because we had some bad picks.
There are some bad picks in there,
especially with how bad we were. We should have been able to get these instant impact players, but paid off.
You got to think about in 2013, the face of our franchise. We were expecting to be Jabari Parker.
Yes,
we were Jabari is going to be our king.
That was the very first draft that I actually that was Jabari Parker, Andrew Wiggins. Mm-hmm. We were the second round pick, and it was they didn't even know between those two who was going to go, but both of them, they were both of these players have the chance to be the next LeBron James or
and
Michael
now
Jordan.
Wiggins is he's a role player in Golden State.
He's just
Jabari Parker has had 2 ACL tears.
Yes. Jabari Parker could have been really good.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins never tried. Mm-hmm. Didn't try to the point where it pissed off Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler was on the Timberwolves. I get Grizzlies and Timberwolves confused. Mm-hmm. Even though I know Timberwolves are Minnesota and Grizzlies are Memphis. I know that. But they just...
You know what team never crosses my mind? Grizzlies.
Ja Morant.
I know, but I never think of that team.
I know. It's if he pops off, then you'll start thinking about him.
I know. And
Charlotte Hornets was like that for me until LaMelo Ball, even though it's MJ's team.
I love the Charlotte Hornets.
Do you really?
Because I love their jerseys. I think that they...
Oh, I hate their jerseys.
Their pinstripe jerseys?
Yeah, I don't like them.
One of the best jerseys of all time.
That's fair. I don't like them. I don't really like blue like that.
Blue's the best color.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, I'm a Chicago Bulls color fan. I like
you
those.
Like that pinstripe?
Yeah, I like the red, yeah.
But yeah, so to come from that, it's just it really did make a lot of us emotional and happy. Mm-hmm. And it just for me, it wasn't even so much of the aspect that, I'm very excited because I'm in the last 4 or 5 years I've gotten more into basketball. Basketball's easier for me to watch than football, just because I have more of an emotional connection to football that it makes me more angry. Whereas basketball, it's I was never good at basketball. Sure. So that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. It's nice.
See, it's fun for me because I've never been good at any sport. Yeah. So it's really easy to just love it all.
Sports.
Love them all.
Yeah. And except for competitive Foursquare, that's where it's tearjerker for you.
It's tough. It's tough to watch.
You see an ACL tear in Foursquare and you start bawling.
I know.
You cry for it.
I get it. I get emotional.
Because that's where you were. You would have been great at Foursquare if it wasn't for that
one.
What
was it like? Because for anybody who does, James has a lot of friends through World of Warcraft and online.
I was posting.
And a bunch of Raptors fans or 76ers. It seems like a lot of Eastern Conference fans,
Yes, in general,
which is like our conference.
I mean, and then also like Gabe, he's like he's a huge LeBron fan.
Yeah,
but he's also like he's one of those people where like if one of his friends are fan, he's not a hater.
No.
So like he's a person that like he's a Bucks fan.
Yeah,
like that's like his probably like third favorite team.
Yeah, because of us.
Yeah, and
so what was it like?
Not
including him.
I posted immediately. I was like, you guys don't know what it's like for me 4 or 5 years ago saying Giannis is going to win an MVP next season. He didn't win it that season. He won it the season after 2 times in a row.
Yeah, and defensive player of the year.
And every person in that Discord was like, Embiid's going to win MVP first before him. You know, he's not going to be shit. I kept that every single time. I was like, I don't know. They look really good this year. They're going to make a deep run. They end up having like glimpses of hope, end up just falling short in the playoffs. It like was just this endless back and forth. And I was like, I was like, you know, from this back and forth that I'd always have with like you guys about like, you know, this most recent offseason fucking sucked because you guys were just all, Giannis is leaving, Giannis is out of here, and I'm over here, you know, typing away like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Like, why would he ever leave? He loves the city, blah, blah, blah. And I'm defending him tooth and nail. I'm defending the city, the team. I'm like getting all worked up every single day because I see him post another thing like, oh, he's going to the Mavericks. There's also a big Mavericks fan too in there.
The Mavericks would be like legit a great fit for Giannis, but him and Luka would be crazy. But
absolutely. And so I'm defending him, and so I was like, to go from that to us finally making it there, you guys have no idea how I feel right now. Like, I'm so fucking excited. And like, I was tearing up, not just because of that, but then also like, it was cool to be in like the moment and actively know that, because sometimes you don't know that you're in a moment because like you do things and like something spontaneous happens where it's
even
just, like,
when we were up like 10 minutes or 10 points, 11 points with like a minute left, like it's literally impossible for them to win, the Hawks. I was like,
oh my God, we're going to blow it somehow.
Yeah.
I kept that thinking that. Well, because like
the reason
like
why
I was like, it's not.
The reason why, at least from a Wisconsin sports fan or Milwaukee sports fan, we think that we're gonna blow it. I mean, I can just go down quickly all the recent close games. I mean, the most recent one just happened this past football season. The Packers are in the NFC Championship versus Tampa Bay. We lose. Let's go back a couple of years. Bucks blow a 2-0 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. We lose to Toronto. They go on to win the championship. Let's go to Brewers. The Brewers were in Game 7 in Milwaukee at home to win the pennant for the National League. We lose it there. I mean, we've been one game out of these championship games for the past decade. Yes. All the way to 2010, like when we win the Super Bowl.
Having an MVP in every single sport.
We've had an MVP in Christian Yelich in baseball. We've had MVP with Giannis in basketball. Multiple times, and multiple times with Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
And like, we just keep falling short. So it's like, it doesn't even feel.
We have like one Super Bowl underneath our belt, which was nice, but it was so long ago.
It's not like, it feels like a rich kid complaining.
I remember that day, like it's
what,
like
2010?
Yeah,
when we were sophomores in high school.
Yep, and I punched. No, we were freshmen.
Freshmen?
Yep.
Freshmen.
That day, I got into a fight with my dad, and I punched a hole in the wall.
Why did you get into a fight with your dad?
Because I was shit talking the Pack. Like, you know, when I get angry, I say absurdities and like hyperbolizations.
Yeah.
That doesn't sit well with my dad or my brother. So I'm just like, fuck. I'm not even saying fuck at the time because I don't swear because I'm too young. But I'm like, man, Aaron Rodgers just sucks. Like, why can't he? And like something small happened, and I said like somebody sucks, and it just pissed. He was like, if you can't respect the team, you don't even be in here and watch. I was like, and I made him he kicked me out pretty much, essentially, out of the front room of watching the game. So I got super angry, went upstairs, punched a hole in the wall, and then threw a poster over it, and they didn't notice it until we sold the house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, pretty good. Threw an Aaron Rodgers poster over it, too.
Might as well cover it up with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
That's what the Packers have been fucking doing for a decade, just covering with Aaron.
Exactly.
That's why he's leaving. I mean, that's why everybody.
It's a big metaphor for it.
I know, it literally is. There's like just a huge hole in the wall, and you just cover it with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
And that should be good until he decides to leave the team.
Well, you know he has these amazing wide receivers. Yeah, none of them have been picked in the first round ever.
Yeah, and people are like, okay, we always have a top 5 offense with
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers, and our defense is always lacking because we always pick defensive players, right?
Yes.
But wouldn't you want to a couple times?
Yes.
give this guy a fucking bone.
Give him a running
The
back.
reason why we have a number 1 offense is because of him, right?
Yes.
I mean, don't make him fucking work as hard. Help him out.
Yeah, help the guy. Throw the dog a bone.
Yeah.
Don't want to get too distracted.
Yeah.
Packers
Yeah, I know. We're going on a little tangent, but back to
But that
basketball.
day, because and even then, not even with sports, there's just certain times where things happen and you'll remember it forever.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you don't know that you're going to remember it forever.
Yeah.
A thing like that, winning the Eastern Conference Finals,
Yeah.
that whole day.
In Game 6.
In Game 6, in that whole day, in general, it just is going to be, we're going, I kept on saying this. I was we're going to tell our kids about this day.
Yeah.
Because there's a very good possibility that they're never going to go again for another 30 years.
Yep, and even if they lose, it's something special that
Yes.
they got there. I don't. I hope they win, but it's fucking.
It's a tough team. The Suns are fucking good.
And Giannis, I heard he might come back for even Game 1.
Yeah,
I would be fine if he doesn't come back till Game 3.
I'd prefer him back Game 2, but
Game 2?
yeah.
Well,
but Game 3 sounds more reasonable.
I mean, just give him another week of rest. Why risk
And also
it?
giving 2 games, that's recoverable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Giving 2 games because
And
they're two.
that's not even to say
They're
that
2
we won't
games
win those.
at Phoenix, right?
Yes.
Let's say we split one of those games, we come back 1-1.
Yes.
I mean, that's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Without Giannis, and then in Game 3 he comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
If we split in Phoenix without Giannis,
yeah.
very confident.
Why fuck it? Why not? Don't sit him for Game 1.
Yeah.
And then see
You
Game
for
2.
sure sit him for Game 1.
Yeah.
If you get blown out by 30 points, maybe play him Game 2.
Yeah.
But I don't think that happens.
Right.
I think that we're still a good team without him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clearly we just
a significantly better team with him.
We beat the Hawks without Giannis, where the 76ers couldn't do that with both their best players.
That being said, I think that we're going to go against the Suns team, and because our game plan obviously hyper changed up because we don't have Giannis.
Yeah.
So
That's probably part of the reason why we won so well.
Yeah, because we won by a lot the first time because they just weren't expecting it. There was there is this unknown of
it almost made our offense more dynamic.
Yes. Well, I mean, it also just because there is this unknown then, because it's just clear as day in the playoffs. You build the wall and you stop Giannis.
Yeah.
And then that causes other people to panic and it ends up just making the offense kind of fall apart. But there was this unknown of hey, what are they going to do now that Giannis isn't there? Though, did they know Brook Lopez was going to drop 33?
Brook Lopez is going to just be in the post and drop 33.
Yeah.
Khris is just going to
also shot 89% or something crazy, insane.
I think Drew Holiday had a legit perfect game, didn't he? Did he not miss a shot or no?
I don't know.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but
amazing.
I'm excited. And if we're talking about on the flip side, even if we lose the finals, it's a bittersweet because Chris Paul gets a ring.
Yeah.
After 16 years, which is cool.
The Suns is a team that I'm seeing them win would be.
I mean, they're basically in the exact same position we are.
I think that Devin Booker is just he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
He's going.
It's his first playoff run.
This is a start of a new era. This playoffs in general was a start of a new era.
Yeah.
And I think that it was clear as day. One of the best playoffs of all time.
Ratings doesn't say so, but I think so just in terms of talent, star talent, new generation. It feels fun.
New generation, new play style, everything. Because you're getting these players playing some of the best offense of all time, still losing.
Yeah, Damian Lillard having the best playoff game of all time, losing.
Yeah, you got Kevin Durant putting up multiple games.
Kevin Durant probably having the best game of his career.
Best series of his career, probably.
Best series. Honestly, Kevin Durant, after it's all said and done, might be in my top 5 best players of all time.
Very possible.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I think that guy, unironically, will win a championship. If he wins a championship without, that Golden State team.
Yeah.
I think that he's just like one of the best. It's undoubtedly.
I think Kevin Durant. I think the hate that he got for just going to Golden State after losing to them in a 3-1 loss, I think the hate was warranted.
Justified, yes.
I think it was justified.
Yes.
What I don't think was justified is people not giving
Discrediting
him giving him his due for how good he is, and like he was the best player on those Golden State Warriors.
Discrediting him.
It's debatable if LeBron was a better player than him because of like the team that was around LeBron. But
LeBron was still probably the better player at the time.
After this loss and I'm also biased because it's fucking wonky, but after this loss and him just like giving credit to the Bucks, saying how good they were, and him like, I mean, just like torching us in fucking Game 5, I think, and then in Game 7 hitting the buzzer beater to win, but his fucking toes on the line, and then airball. I mean, after that game, I was like, this guy's fucking incredible,
and putting it all out there too, like playing every single minute of these games, and then like you said, the humbleness, and then also like there's something to. It's definitely biased from us because these are games that we're watching intensely.
Yeah.
But like PJ Tucker played like one of the best defense. Like it kind of felt like Andre Iguodala against LeBron James, like how Andre Iguodala won like MVP of that series because he
is LeBron allowed to win MVP? Is he allowed can you win a finals MVP on the losing team? Is that allowed?
I don't think so.
Because a lot of people to this day still say LeBron should have won over Andre Iguodala, even though LeBron's on the losing team.
Well, they gave it to Andre Iguodala because they held him to like 36, 12, and like 9 or something like that. Like some insane stat line.
Yeah, that's a good comparison because PJ, it's like you gotta just make sure these guys don't score fucking 60 points every game. That's your task.
Literally.
Which is like, it's basically impossible. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the stats, like everything that all of Kevin Durant's like stats, it could just be like playoffs because in playoffs you're more nervous. But his shooting percentages went down, his like efficiency went down, everything went down with PJ guarding him. So like he did his job.
Well, I mean like, and if you watch it, right, there was never a shot where Kevin Durant made it, and I was like, come on, PJ, like what are you doing? Mm-hmm. It was always like hand in the face, like fully defended, and he just knocks it down over him. Like you can't do anything about it. Like he's bodying him up. Like there's every now and then like layups and stuff where you just like, you know, get a good pick and roll or something like that. But like it was some, this playoffs has been fucking phenomenal.
Now that we had about 15 minutes left. Now that Coach Bud has gotten to the finals.
Yes.
Does the narrative change on him? Because I'm not a coaching guy. I don't know, and definitely the things that he did as a coach were really, really fucking stupid. He made a lot of bad decisions and choices. Everybody will tell you that.
So it's like,
but now what? What happens now? What happens if he wins the finals?
There is this.
He's obviously not losing his job.
No. So there is this push and pull, right? There is, the issue is that there's glimpses of this guy being a really good coach and like glimpses of him just being like so dumb. Like, because like not playing your star players for the entirety of games when you're like, you know, down 2 games or something, like just shit like where like we need to win and he's just not playing star players. Mm-hmm. That sucks. But then you see things like, you know, we lose game 1, which I also kind of said is like, it kind of sucks that we go into a game so like unprepared. But we go into game 1 against Phoenix, the pick and roll. Mm-hmm. Just like Trae Young is dropping career high on us.
Well, we go into the series versus
giving us a fucking shimmy.
You said Phoenix.
I mean
the Hawks, rather.
Yes. So we go into game 1 and he's just hitting us with shimmies. This pick and roll is just destroying us. Mm-hmm. He's getting so much space. They got Brook Lopez out there, like just not being able to cover distance and help out with his pick and roll.
Yeah.
And like it sucks that we went into that game without like watching some film and getting a better grasp of it. But then the next game, like it just changes up right away. Like our defense is on point. Trae Young's not hitting that shimmy on us really anymore.
Yeah.
He had a pretty decent game still. Then after that, I mean, he got hurt, and it just like it felt like he did have this transition in that where he came up with an answer. I feel like his answer for the Brooklyn Nets was definitely good. Keeping PJ on KD and just like the way that we played it in general, like, you know, maybe that series is different with Kyrie. Like, this was
so
definitely.
You're saying that Bud actually coached the game well, not including the game one.
I think that he coached pretty well, but it is tough to say because I mean, we would be ignorant to say this wasn't a dream run for us. You know, I mean, you don't like to see people get hurt, but Kyrie going out.
Can I tell you
James Harden being out?
Can I tell you a Bill Simmons theory?
Okay.
So, everybody in sports media, everybody in Milwaukee has been talking about Coach Bud being terrible, awful, and fair criticisms, right?
Yes.
Maybe a little harsh, but correct. So, Dallas Mavericks have just hired Jason Kidd as a coach, right? Their previous coach left, like, I think they mutually left. I think he is the guy who won the championship for them in 2010.
Yeah.
For the Mavericks. I forget his name. So, it's either the day he leaves Mavericks or the day after. It's like right before Game 7 of Brooklyn Nets versus Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Bill Simmons is like, this is his quote. He's like, I was 99% sure that Brooklyn was going to win the series, but it was going to be fired, and then that coach was going to like kind of Milwaukee. It felt like he was like positioning for the job already, and like it was like Bud was. I think it was like a pretty well known thing that Bud was going to be fired because of his coaching in that Brooklyn Nets, and also like his failures from last year.
Yes.
And now we are 2 weeks past that, and we are in the finals, and it's crazy how like Katie's toe in the line has changed Bud's career.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm pretty sure he was out of the house. Out of here.
It's very possible.
And now we could potentially win the finals with them.
They are harsh criticisms, though.
They are.
Because, like, although being Bucks fans, we know that Khris Middleton is an all-star. We know that Giannis is one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
But, like, in reality, right, at face value, the team that we have is just, like, it is decent. It's not, like, great.
Yeah.
It's not as good as some of these other lineups. It's obviously not as good as a Brooklyn Nets lineup. It's not like there isn't these like two all timers on the team.
You're right.
Yes.
But we should have looked better defensively against them. Not like the game 1 and 2 and even 3, we basically got fucking smoked against the Nets.
Yeah.
And it felt like that was because, for one, I think Milwaukee was just shook. It felt like, and also like Bud wasn't. I don't know what he's doing. I never knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely needed to be more. Like, it never seemed like we had an inbound play. We had Brook Lopez looking like a fucking dummy out there, just not knowing what the time is at.
One of the most frustrating things was when James Harden was hurt right away.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, the first game he came back, he was clearly a decoy. I mean, it was obvious to everybody in that arena. It was obvious to everybody watching at home that James Harden couldn't move.
Yeah.
And we didn't run one pick and roll on him at all with like Giannis and Drew, which is like a bread and butter. It's easy. Mm-hmm. We could have just attacked him the whole game, and Bud never did it one time, and it made no sense.
If they were smart, Giannis probably could have put up like fucking 50.
And like
insane amounts.
James Harden, they were just like, okay, Giannis would just like back into him, where like James Harden doesn't have to move, and then he would just like swat the ball away, and then it'd be a turnover.
Yeah.
It happened like countless times when he was clearly hurt. It made no sense.
Yeah.
And this is like, these are the criticisms that are totally warranted for Bud, at least from my point of view. And now he's in the finals. If he wins, like, we just have to keep him, right?
Forever, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
And we're probably going to get because, like, we really are, too. Like, I think that if we've been this way for a while, right? And
what do you mean we?
The Bucks.
The Bucks, okay.
Where I think that we're always just like one shooter, like away from being really good.
Yeah.
Like, but not just like I feel like we always go for these roll 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
But we just need like an overall.
You want a mid-range guy?
Mid-range to deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, put somebody on our team where like we're just that close to being like a fucking phenomenal. Because Drew came in and Giannis. That's a huge big three. When Brook shows up, and if we could ever like, if Bud could fully tap into his potential after he showed that he could these last 2 games, it really is just like another player. I get that it can get crowded down below, but like, you know, it seems like we take out Giannis, and then Brook doesn't swap to that like style.
Yeah.
Like we should take out Giannis, and he should be playing like that.
Yeah.
Like how he played in these last 2 games.
Yep.
But instead, like
he just keeps spreading the floor.
Keeps spreading the floor even when Giannis.
He keeps like going to try to shoot threes, which he can hit sometimes. But the one game that he like didn't do that,
just pops off
33, and he's not going to do that every time. That might be an aberration. But like you can get like you can get 15 doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all. And that's all you need is really if he pulls down 15, we're probably going to win.
Feeling good, yes.
Yeah.
We're in a good position.
Let's think about the beginning of this offseason. And the biggest question mark for the season was where's Chris Paul going? And I really wanted him in the Bucks.
I mean, it was also where Giannis was going.
Yes, right. Yes, Giannis.
If you go a little bit further
yes,
back.
Giannis, Chris Paul, these were the big ones, right?
Like, Giannis wasn't even, like, making statements.
No.
He left the city. Mm-hmm. Like, he loves Milwaukee, and he was in Greece when all these rumors started.
I really wanted Milwaukee to have Chris Paul. Yeah. I thought he was like going to be the perfect point guard. I thought it was the guy we were missing. I wanted to like do whatever we could. And then the trade I never expected, we got Drew Holiday from the Pelicans. We gave him Eric Bledsoe. We got Eric Bledsoe off the team.
Yeah.
We got also a couple other bad contracts off the book. Like we got like this season, we got all of our bad contracts off.
Yeah, we have some cap space to play around with now.
Yes, we have all of our bad contracts off the books, and we got Drew Holiday. Chris Paul goes to the Suns. So the 2 teams that are in the finals, it's not like this isn't my like suit. I don't even remember where I heard it from, but they're like it's not surprising that the 2 teams that are in the finals are 2 veteran point guards that like know how to play the game.
Yeah, Drew Holiday had some of the like in those games too, like just the best pure point guard. Somebody said it, and this isn't even mine. It was like especially that game 5. It was one of the most beautiful pure point guard performances.
Chris Paul has had a couple of those this
exactly.
year as
yeah,
well.
For sure.
Yes,
but like the way that he was just like
dishing it out to everybody,
he looked like LeBron James,
splitting the defense.
It's the only way to describe it is like he would drive in, which would like he was consistent and didn't slow, which allowed him to open the floor up, and he just like he knew when to pass it, he knew when to take that shot. And it's like it's hard to get that out of like a point guard or a ball handler in general, right? Like because you got point forward. It's a league of point forwards now, and to see that from like 2 true point guards, it's been a while.
It's fun.
It's been a long time.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you happy the way it turned out, or thinking back now, would you have wanted Chris Paul over Drew Holiday?
I want Chris Paul over Drew Holiday.
I do want Chris Paul as well, and
I'm happy the way that turned out.
It's weird because I'm happy the way it turned out, and Drew Holiday is now like my second favorite player on the Bucks without question. Yeah. I love that guy.
It goes,
but for whatever reason,
Brook Lopez then Drew Holiday.
It goes Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday. It then goes Crazy Eyes, Bobby Portis, and then it goes Thanasis, and then Giannis.
Yeah.
But I fucking like Chris Paul. He's fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
That guy is so good.
He is what we need. He literally, because don't get me wrong. The issue is, right, with Drew Holiday is it obviously works out. It fits on the team for sure. But because like what I was saying, like I want this true shooter, and like Chris Paul is a great shooter.
Yeah.
Like, and also a great point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like that creates.
Here is how I rationalize it for me. Mm-hmm. So Chris Paul going to the Phoenix Suns, that's his team.
Yes.
It's him.
Yes.
Devin Booker, like, has been there for years, but like he looks up to Chris Paul. Everybody there just like bought into it.
Yes.
What's his name? DeAndre Ayton. Is that their center? So their center, I think that's his name. He has been like raving about how great Chris Paul is, and like he's having a great season. He credits all of that to Chris Paul, and like the leadership that he's done. Let's say he comes to Milwaukee. I don't think the same kind of thing happens because Giannis is established as his team. Chris doesn't need like a mentor. Like, these guys are pretty formed. Well,
yes.
And Drew Holiday can come in the team, and like he's used to not being the number one guy anyways. I mean, like he was there with Zion, and then before Zion, he had fucking Anthony Davis, right? So like he's already kind of used to that like secondary position, or even third here. I mean, it depends on where we are. So him coming to the team, I think it's an easier transition than Chris Paul. So that's how I rationalize it.
It goes both ways, right? Because like, it definitely was the safer option going with Drew Holiday. I think, thinking about it,
sure.
Although Chris Paul's the better player, I think,
but he's older.
He's older.
Now we locked in our future for a while.
Here's I have like three things that just like want to rattle off. So with Drew Holiday, the issue that I have with it in a way is that we had success but weren't successful with Bledsoe.
Yep.
Who's a very similar player to Drew Holiday. Like, very similar.
Sure.
Drew Holiday obviously head and shoulders above him as a player.
Yes.
But same exact play. Maybe like that takes us over the edge. But for me, what I've always wanted this shooter, and like I think that Chris Paul spreads that floor out very well because he's a shooter and a true point guard at the same time.
Yep.
So like it brings this aspect to the game that I think is very good for Giannis, which would have, I think, meshed well, but it is up in the air because we haven't seen it. We know that this works to a degree, and if we upgrade him to Drew Holiday, it does. You know, that's kind of
so you're basically saying we basically upgraded directly.
Yes.
It's not like we didn't like.
Whereas getting Chris Paul
it kind of changes the dynamic.
And it's a different game plan.
Yes.
Whereas this is, hey, we plug
kind of already had this guy.
It's a plug and play.
Yeah.
You know, you pull it out, put it back in.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing, just better, which can work. I mean, it could work, but we were also.
Yeah, I mean, they don't play like they have a similar style, but obviously they're like.
But there's also this thing that I feel with Chris Paul is that it's like a lottery, right? Like Drew Holiday, it's going to get us. Obviously, in hindsight, it's going to get us to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you know, maybe win it, stuff like that, right? Like that was, I think, just guaranteed with having that pullout. With Chris Paul, I think that like the top end could be so much higher. That being said, third thought on it is Chris Paul's played with lots of up-and-coming talents or current talents, and it just never seemed like it jived, right? Like you had Blake Griffin, who was supposed to be like this next big thing, like
DeAndre Jordan.
Like this Clippers team should have been amazing in like on paper.
Then they ran into
the
Warriors.
Me.
The Warriors.
Yeah.
And they had some 3-1 flameouts.
Yeah, just like
then Chris Paul goes to Houston. Then you have PJ Tucker. You got James Harden, Clint Capella.
James Harden, a MVP, a person that could have been a multi-MVP.
Sure.
Like Giannis. So there is this like world where he just doesn't work well with these superstars.
And then what happens?
I think that, you know what I think it is that he might be, this is speculation, he might be a mental boom person. Like,
you think so?
Where like
explain mental boom people to somebody.
If he's not a person that's getting praise and stuff and like not being the number one on the team, he just mentally
and he spirals
and blows out of control.
That's what you think?
And I think that it ends up causing him to choke. Whereas this team, like you said, they have this person putting him on a pedestal, making
on the Phoenix Suns.
And they're like talking him up.
It's
but he's also surrounded by talent.
Well, here, think about this. On the Clippers team, as much as Chris Paul probably could have been the guy, that was Blake Griffin's team.
Yes. Blake Griffin. And the only reason why, too, slam dunk contest.
James Harden team.
Yep.
Then he gets dished out, right? He is seen as a liability at this point, Chris Paul.
Yep.
Which is crazy. They were like, Chris Paul has the worst contract and all. Like, Houston had to give up more to get Chris Paul off the contract. That's how bad he was deemed, right?
Yeah.
Goes to OKC, and he finally is in a position where it's his team again since Charlotte. And, like, that team should have been tanking, go to a Game 7 playoff run.
Yeah.
Because of Chris Paul.
Yes.
It's just, I mean, maybe you're right, because once he was, like, on that team, it was Chris Paul's fucking team. And now he's in Phoenix, and he's getting all this praise.
That's an issue, too, with a true point guard. And I think that's also why it's not successful in this day and age, is that a true point guard, I think, has to be your guy. Mm-hmm. Because point guards are like quarterbacks.
Sure.
They have to be...
Not anymore, but definitely
that's
traditional.
What I'm saying,
yeah.
Is when you have a true point guard like that, like somebody that command... Because what is a point guard? They're the commander of the team. They
Isn't it
the team.
funny?
And if you're not that guy, and you're supposed to be this commander, what are you then? Because like on Chris Paul's team, he should be always the one taking it up.
Yeah.
When you get like these, Drew Holidays, where he's not a true point guard per se, but like is like he's able to fit in, do different things. He can play, he can defend other positions. He is just
I think a better
all around.
I think a better example of what you're trying to say is like maybe a Steph Curry.
No, because what I'm trying to say is that Drew Holiday doesn't have to take it up every single time.
Okay, that's fine.
I think that Chris Paul does.
Okay.
Because he just is like...
I just wanted to say that because you said Drew Holiday was a true point guard, and now you're saying he isn't.
No, he had a true point guard performance.
That's what you're saying. Gotcha.
That one time.
Yeah, okay.
But like, I don't think that he has to be the commander of the team because he doesn't have that ego like Chris Paul probably does, where he is like, hey, I'm one of the best point guards to ever do it.
One of the best players to ever do it.
One of the best players, yes. And I should be commanding this team.
Yeah.
And like how can you be commander when you're second in charge, right?
That's a good point. Chris Paul also has his he's very well known for people play the game at Chris Paul's pace. He slows games down.
This is why nobody fucks with you. Did you see that? Mm-mm. Oh, really?
What are you talking about?
Because he flopped hard.
Yeah.
Against DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
And they zoomed in on him and played it kind of in slow motion, no sound, but like it was on live television.
Boogie said this?
And Boogie screams out, "This is why nobody fucks with you." And I think he might have said like bitch or something.
Chris Paul just like he puts his like presence in the game, and he has this ability to all the players start playing his pace, and it's like he has like a control of it like that.
For sure.
He did that in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
You don't do that in an All-Star game. You go to show off, and he started doing that shit in an All-Star game. Yeah. That's who that guy is.
Yeah.
Which is I love that guy. He's not my favorite player, but God,
people don't fuck with him. I guess if he don't,
LeBron does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're buds.
Yeah, I mean like I'm sure that
and everybody in the Phoenix Suns likes him.
You just get those people that are dogs that just like
annoy you.
Well, like fucking DeMarcus Cousins, Draymond Green, like players that are tough physical players. They're never going to like a guy like him or Harden and stuff, just because like you're playing like a bitch.
Boogie
or LeBron even.
Boogie is such a funny guy to me because he was at one point seen as the best center in the league.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, this guy's the greatest. He's going to win championships for sure. And then he does like the bitch move where he takes like, it looks like the veteran minimum to be on the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And it was the one year they don't win. Boogie, he tries to go on the LeBron Lakers. The first year that they don't go to the playoffs, they don't win. He goes to the Clippers, they don't win. It's like every single time that this guy, he's clearly ring chasing. He's been ring chasing, and he just can't
ever do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
And he missed out on so much money, and then gets fucking hurt.
Yeah.
It's some of it's like I feel bad for him, but the other part's like, well, that's what happens when you ring chase and you don't just get what you're worth.
Yes.
Like. I
mean, at least KD like was ring chasing And also got what he was worth.
Yeah, well, he's a top 3 player of all time.
Yeah.
Well, not all time, but in the league.
It's possible he could.
You'd like to be done?
I think that he can end. No, I just, your microphone was confusing me. I was like, why is his silver thing? But
It's because
you're on more of an
different
angle. Yeah. That's just how it is.
We're pretty much done, though.
Yeah, no, we are done.
Okay, I'm about to go shit my pants. Ta-ta, everybody.
Goodbye.